John Miller, Joe Morgan back at the Kingdome as we go to the second inning. No score in the game. With us here today to help with our coverage is our colleague, Dave Campbell. Let's go down to Dave right now.
Thank you, John. You know, with all the emotion here, you still have to get back to some of the basics, though. Getting the first out in the inning. You get the first out, you cut down the other team's chances of scoring. Number 2, throwing first pitch strikes. Randy Johnson threw 3 first pitch strikes in the inning, and the team that scores first wins 67% of the time. We'll keep an eye on all that today. Guys?
Thank you, Dave. And here we go, inning number 2. Tim Salmon, look at those numbers. 332, 34 homers, 105 driven in. Both of these teams have extraordinary power.
Yes.
As does this man. Fastball. Strike one. Tim Salmon has never fared well against Randy Johnson. Not many have. Slider. 2 strikes.
There are 2 pitches that I feel would be very effective against Salmon with Johnson. One is the breaking ball down out of the strike zone and the fastball up and out of the strike zone.
Strike 3 call.
And maybe a fastball down the middle.
Yeah, maybe one at 96 miles
right
an hour.
down the middle. Said, get out of here. I mean, this one explodes. You see Salmon shaking his head. Now watch this ball explode. It was supposed to be a high fastball, but he didn't get it up there. He wanted it to be high. You see the target up high by Wilson, but he doesn't get it up high, but it's still strike 3.
Now Chili Davis, and he is the veteran cool head in this ball club. He and Tony Phillips and the heater. That was 97 miles an hour. Strike 1.
Well, he told me before the ball game that he had hit 3 home runs off of Johnson. He said Johnson's gotten me a few times, but he didn't tell me exactly how many times. He struck him out 20 times in like 40 at bats. So I'd say Johnson has the edge there.
We got a piece of it. Joey Cora. Out number 2. 2 dangerous sluggers have been disposed of, and here comes another one. One of the young Angels, J.T. Snow, who had a breakthrough year. Snow with 24 homers and 102 runs batted in. Both of these teams have 3 hitters in their lineup with more than 100 RBIs. The Mariners have a 4th, Mike Blowers with 96, and the Angels have a 4th, Chili Davis with 86, even though he was on the disabled list for 3 weeks. That one is hit well. Deep center. Griffey back. There. He's got it. Six pitches and out. Mike Blowers and Tino Martinez. No score in the game.
On an all-new Highlander.
What do you know about Doc Quickenings? It's a myth. Something changed him.
McLeod must risk his own damnation.
In a Dark Quickening, if you take in too much evil, you overload.
It's the one episode you can't afford to miss.
Because there can be only one? Is that what this is all about?
That's as good a reason as any.
On Highlander.
Sunday night at 9 on KIRO TV 7.
Some days I'm so hungry I'll eat anything that's not nailed down. Fast, cheap, easy, now. Other days, I want something that tastes great and really satisfies. A real meal. And it's worth the ride to get what I want.
The Taco Time Mexi Meal's the ticket for a big meal that's sure to please. All this made fresh with your choice of bean, beef, or chicken. It'll get you going wherever the road takes you.
Taco Time. I'm there.
When the people at QFC begin their day, every person in every department is working hard to make your day the best it can be. The service at your neighborhood QFC? You know it's going to be good.
With our exclusive coverage of this playoff for the championship of the American League West, and for the Seattle Mariners, Mike Blowers coming to the plate. guy who himself has had a breakthrough season. 96 runs batted in, and he takes ball one from Martin Langston.
And if he has a good day today, he can reach the 100 RBI stage because all the statistics count today in this year's statistical category.
This is a regular season game.
Right. Also, everything counts.
When Bobby Thompson hit that famous homer in 1951, that was the last homer he hit in the regular season that year. Joe Niekro won his 20th game in the playoff that you played in 1980 for Houston.
Yes.
Martin Langston got one more chance to win his 16th. If he can win this one. 2-0 the count. They chased Langston's pitch that time.
And that was a good pitch from Langston because the ball really tailed away. It looked like it was going to be a fastball toward the middle of the plate, and it ran right away from Blowers. Good pitching, tailed right away.
On deck, Chino Martinez. He's hitting 7th. All he's done this year is drive in 110 runs with 31 homers. 2-1. 3-1. There's Tino, another guy who just rose up this year and had a huge year. Both teams have numerous players who had seasons like that. 3-2 on the foul ball. Flowers is a streaky guy, so he's well capable of getting 4 RBIs today. He would be the 4th in the club if he could do it. But in many's the game this year where he's had 4 or 5. He's had as many as 8 RBIs more than once in a game this year. In one incredible stretch, 23-game stretch, he had 46 RBIs. The slider, and he walks. Second walk allowed by Langston. Here is Tino Martinez, ball one.
What you're seeing difference between the two pitchers so far, John, Langston has a smaller margin for error because he can't overpower the hitters. So you see him trying to change speeds and hit the corners.
Ball two.
Right. See, that's just off the corner. He doesn't have trouble throwing strikes, but he does not want to get any balls in the middle of the plate. The big unit can just overpower you with the fastball.
He's thrown a first pitch strike to everybody.
Exactly. And Langston has to be more careful. I mean, that's just the nature of the beast.
Langston has thrown a first pitch strike only one time to the 7 hitters that he's faced. Dan Wilson is on deck. Flowers not much of a threat to try and steal. He has 2 steals this year. Snow in the bag with him. This Angels club has got some pretty good defensive players, Snow being one of them. It's a foul, playable. Tony Phillips and Tino Martinez is out number 1 here in the Mariners' second.
Well, went after the fastball. It was a little up. It was 2-0. He knew a fastball was coming. That was a little bit out of the strike zone.
Now here is Dan Wilson, sort of an unheralded member of this ball club, and Wilson has hit .278. He's a very fine receiver, strong arm. And he's got 9 home runs and 49 batted in. Not a bad guy to have hitting 8. Especially when everybody else in your lineup's got 40 homers. 1 out, 1 on. And Flowers is back. Joey Cora is on deck. They're down at the tail end of the Mariner batting order here. The Mariners on August the 2nd finished up play that day 13 games behind the Angels. Fastball at the knees. There's a first pitch strike. They were 13 back, and Texas was 11 back. In 55 games since then, the Mariners were able to make up 13 games. In fact, 5 or 6 days ago, they were 3 games ahead after being 13 behind. Breaking ball. Phillips is 1 and 2. Double play. Nice turn at second by Rex Hudler. Wilson hits the double play, and the Mariners are retired. Still scoreless after 2. Garrett Anderson, the outstanding left-handed hitting youngster of the Angels, will be leading it off against Randy Johnson when we return to Seattle. Stay with us.
Some of the world's best tasting water comes from an unexpected source. The Brita water filtration pitcher transforms tap water. The special Brita filter reduces chlorine taste and odor, eliminates 93% of lead, taking tap water back to nature. Brita, tap into great taste.
Available at Payless Drugstores and Bartell Drug.
When it comes to tough compact trucks, there's no doubt the Ford Ranger rules. And right now, you can get a brand new 96 Ranger at a price that rocks. Just $163 a month will get you a red carpet lease on a 96 Ranger XL regular cab 4x2. Lease America's #1 selling compact truck with driver's side airbag, rear wheel ABS, and more for just $163 a month. Deals this sweet don't come along every day, so don't miss your chance to save big. Go see your Northwest Ford dealer now.
Behind me is an ultra-sophisticated piece of equipment from Horizon Air. If the other airlines were to find out about this, well, I don't have to tell you. We call it a cart. You put your bag on it just before you board your Horizon Air flight, and then somehow, magically, it's waiting for you on a cart when you get off. It's like checked baggage without having to check it. Do you know how much time you save? I do.
From the Kingdom in Seattle, John Miller, Joe Morgan with you. And the 9th playoff in the history of Major League Baseball. It doesn't very often happen. It happened in 1946. The Cardinals ended up winning the National League pennant over the Dodgers. In fact, 5 times it's happened in the National League, and all 5 of the playoffs in the National League involved the Dodgers. 2 previous times it happened in the American League, and both of those involved the Boston Red Sox. This is the first time that there's ever been a playoff in Major League history that didn't involve either the Dodgers or the Red Sox. And we'll see if history is made here today. At the Kingdom, as the Angels and the Mariners have at it, taking their place in that select list of playoff combatants over the years. Garrett Anderson fouling one away against Randy Johnson.
Well, we'll see how this young player here fares against Randy. He's only faced Randy 1 time. So he didn't do too well, although he did get a clutch hit. He struck out a couple of times. But for a young player to have to face Randy Johnson in a situation like this, very difficult.
Difficult for a young guy, an old guy?
Well, a young guy that's not used to facing hard throwers or, not used to Major League pitching. This is his first year facing Major League pitching.
What a day for Garrett Anderson to be here. 1-2 the count. I mean, this guy came out of nowhere, hitting .323. He started the year in the minor leagues. 16 homers, 69 batted in. About the time they brought him up, that's when their lineup really started to gel. The slider got him swinging.
Well, he was overmatched. Johnson kept everything away, and you can see Garrett Anderson bailing a little bit. Watch his front foot. See, it's going toward first base. You cannot hit Randy Johnson like that. You have to stay in there, and I guess he will learn a lesson. He'll get better as he goes along because he is a good hitter.
Here's Andy Allenson, journeyman catcher, been around a long time. And he fouls one away, but he's had some pretty good numbers. Not against the league this year, as you can see there. He's had terrible numbers, but against Randy Johnson in the past. Sort of Bob Uecker versus Sandy Koufax all over again. Uecker, what was his lifetime average, 200?
Well, he says it was around that. I don't know. I'd have to look on the bubblegum.
200 or less, but against Koufax, he hit over 400.
Tells you that he was a good fastball hitter.
Foul ball, 1-2 the count.
John, we were talking about the attitude of the players before the ball game, and you mentioned I was in the 1980 playoff with the Dodgers. We went into L.A. the last 3 games of the season with a 3-game lead. The Dodgers won all 3, and we had a 1-game playoff. And I went in the clubhouse before the game, and I looked around, and everybody was kind of solemn.
1-2 to Allenson. Struck him out.
That is a big-time fastball. Up. I think that's what you have to do, 98 miles an hour. I mean, it doesn't get much better than this. And it's also up. That's the key. You cannot hit a 98-mile-an-hour fastball up. There are a lot of people that tell me that they've been registered on the gun with low fastballs in the high 90s. I don't believe that. You have to be up high to get that fastball at 98 miles an hour. When I finished my story, I looked around the clubhouse, John, and all the guys were a little nervous. It seemed that way to me anyway. And I said to them, I said, you know, we've blown 3 games in a row. If we lose this 4th game, I think we should move this team to Manila and call ourselves the Manila Folders. Everybody started laughing a little bit, kind of relieved a lot of tension. We went out and won the ball game.
Right, not just won it, I mean, destroyed the Dodgers that day. After having lost all 3 to them over the weekend. That was the last time that there was a playoff in the major leagues, 1980. And then the Astros and the Phillies went on to have one of the great league championship series in National League history. That was a fabulous series. Rex Hudler taking the gas, 97 miles an hour too low. Hudler, former Marine, real handy player, used to be with the Cardinals, and also started his career with the Yankees. The winner of this game will travel to New York to meet the Yankees in the playoffs beginning tomorrow night. Oh. 2-2 the count.
The one thing you cannot do with Randy Johnson is chase any pitches out of the strike zone. If you chase pitches out of the strike zone, you're dead.
Everybody on their feet again at the Kingdome. Johnson has retired everybody he's faced. Foul away. That pitch on Art Jugg's gun read out at 100 miles an hour.
That's interesting. Must be a fast Jugg's gun they're using. He's throwing hard, but 100 miles an hour is up there.
Well, fast or slow or whatever, he's bringing it 2 or 3 miles an hour faster than his other ones have been. The slider. He hit it hard, but fouled on the left field line. Well back into the lower deck. Hudler hanging tough up there. Mark Langston, he's pitched 2 shutout innings, but he knows he may have to pitch all shutout innings to stay in this game with Johnson. 2 down, nobody on. 3rd inning. No score. They got a piece of it again. And look at Hudler after they fouled that one off, staring out at Randy Johnson.
Well, Hudler is a battler, and that's why he has been in there the last week or so. He's a guy that makes things happen. As his manager once said about him, they're not always positive things, but he makes things happen. He's an aggressive player.
And he's hit well against Johnson the few times he's faced him. He's fouled off 3 in a row here. And 4 in a row. This is the first real big battle that an Angels hitter has given Johnson.
You're right.
Johnson is thrown consistently here to Hudler between 97 and 100 on our Jugg's gun, with 1 slider mixed in, but Hudler's been able to fight them off here. Slider! Strike 3 called! No score. The Mariners coming up. We'll be back.
That's my little brother. I'm still in college with a couple of years to go. He studied electronics at ITT Technical Institute and is already working for a good company. While I'm studying the past, he's working on the future.
You can work on your future by preparing for a career in electronics at ITT Tech.
Call ITT Technical Institute at 1-800-942-0088 for an informative brochure. That's 1-800-942-0088. Call now.
A man started pounding on our back door. My children were home alone. He almost got in. My oldest daughter pushed the brink panic button. The man stopped and ran away.
Help avoid break-ins. Put Brinks in, the Brinks home security system. Incredibly, only $149 installed. That's a $50 savings. Call 1-800-9-BRINKS today.
Catch the Sonics on KIRO TV 7. George Carl's Sonics take a weekend trip to Vancouver to take on the expansion Grizzlies. Seattle is yet to win in Vancouver, losing twice on the Grizzlies' home court. You can bet All-Stars Gary Payton and Sean Kemp will come into this one loaded for bear. It's the last meeting of the year between these Northwest neighbors, so don't miss a minute of the action when the Sonics try to tear apart the Grizzlies. Sunday afternoon at 3:30, only on KIRO TV 7.
No score. Last of the third inning from the Kingdome in Seattle.
I want to show you what makes Johnson so tough. He throws 98 miles an hour. Watch him sling this ball. Watch he throws sidearm. The ball starts out toward first base and then breaks sharply over the outside corner. That's almost impossible for a right-hander to hit. And you see the reaction. He was staring back at Hudler as he walked off, and he says, I got you. He says, you're just 1 of 5 so far.
Grab some bench, buddy. That's 5 strikeouts for Johnson in 3 innings. Joey Cora hitting a fly ball to right. There's Salmon. And just like that, there is 1 away. Mark Langston getting the first batter of the inning out for the first time. Here comes Vince Coleman, the leadoff man. No score last of the third. Let's say Randy Johnson kind of made a statement there in the top of this inning. Well, striking out the side.
Yes, I think he made a statement from the first pitch of this ball game when he did throw a strike. He says, you're going to have to beat me today. I'm going to throw strikes. And I'm going to give you my best stuff. I'm going to give it to you as long as I have it. He's not thinking about throwing 9 innings right now. He's just thinking about going as hard as he can for as long as he can.
Vince Coleman got an infield hit his first time, but eventually he was caught trying to steal third in that inning. A little bit low from Langston. Coleman saved his best for the end of the year. His last 68 at-bats of the season, a .353 average. That's a strike on the outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Coleman didn't like the call.
Well, you have to like Vince Coleman for another reason, John. He is a guy that has resurrected his career. I mean, he was almost dead. He was in the minor leagues. Everybody's given up on him. He came back with Kansas City, played well, helped them to get in the pennant race, and he's now trying to help the Mariners win a pennant.
The slider, strike 2. Well, in fact, before the Mariners got him, he was designated for assignment by Kansas City back in August. I mean, they didn't even wait to trade him first. Right. They just, in effect, said, we're going to release you if we can't trade you. And then the Mariners picked him up.
Look at that consistency.
Giving chase, J.T. Snow makes the catch. Coleman fouls out to Snow. Snow is one of the best fielding first basemen in the majors. I mean, he's right up there with Mattingly and Joyner, and you name a good first baseman, and he's right there with him. 2 down, and here is Luis Sojo. Sojo pushed down a sacrifice bunt his first time. Just not so long ago in a big ball game with Texas in this ballpark, Joe, maybe you worked it. Luis Sojo exploded with 6 RBIs. Base hit. So a 2 down, Sojo singles, and Ken Griffey will come to bat. No score, 3rd inning. Yesterday afternoon, at this time, they didn't even know if there was going to be a game here today. And less than 24 hours later, they sold it out. I mean, they have the fever here in Seattle. 19 years this club has been around. They've never won anything, never really come close until now. And the folks here have caught the fever. 0-1 to Griffey. He walked his first time. 2 down, a runner at first in the 3rd. Nice pitch on the outside.
Well, the first time up, he appeared that he wanted to get Griffey out with breaking balls. He threw him several sliders. So he comes back this time with Griffey looking for a slider, and he's thrown him a couple of fastballs away.
And the breaking ball, yeah. Foul down the right field line. 0-2 the count to Griffey.
But that pitch hung inside. If he would have thrown that pitch on the first pitch, Griffey probably would have hit it hard. But he changed Griffey's thought pattern by going away with a couple of fastballs. That was not a good breaking ball. It was right in the middle of the plate.
There's a better one, but Griffey was able to check his swing. 1-2 the count. Langston, manager of the Angels, Marcel Latchman, took a ball club that many predicted would finish last in the West. Fastball but too high. And now here are the Angels, one game away from either going into the playoffs against all odds, or one game away from going down in history as one of the teams that had the biggest collapse ever in baseball. But for Latchman, it's been a great year one way or the other. Foul back. 2-2.
He's trying to get that fastball in. But it's interesting, they're also going to play J.T. Snow behind Soho at first base. That gives J.T. Snow a little more coverage there if Griffey was to pull a ball down toward first base. It might not be a bad idea for the Mariners just to go ahead and send him. If he makes it, you're okay. If he doesn't, then Griffey starts off the next inning for you.
Snyder and Griffey lunges for it, gets a piece of it. Back out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The battle continues. The league's batting champion, Edgar Martinez, would be next. He's on deck. Of course, Griffey is thinking maybe not of hitting one anywhere near Snow. He's got a fan up in the second deck. I think he'd like to send this one to. Caught by Rex Hudler. And that ends the inning. 1 hit and 1 left. We've played 3. Still scoreless. The Angels will be coming up now for the second time around against Randy Johnson, Phillips, DeSarcina, and Edmonds. We'll be back.
You're a kid. You're in a hospital bed, and you're scared. Then this ball player comes in and sits beside you. You talk, you laugh, you become friends. And you have to admit, you feel pretty good that day.
Mariners Care is helping to make life better for thousands of Northwest kids. And that's a side of Mariners baseball you don't always see.
Attention RV buyers, it's here. Holiday World RV's Bid and Buy Sale. It's simple. You set the price. Pick up your bid and buy form. Inspect over $7 million of new and used motorhomes, travel trailers, and fifth wheels, all open to your inspection. Choose your new RV and write your bid. Have a trade? Put down what you want for it. Present your bid and make the deal. Special financing available for this one-time event, now through Monday only, at Holiday World RV Centers in Tacoma and Everett.
It's Montel with families in crisis.
I had my son when I was 15.
It was hard for Shannon when she gave custody of her baby to her mother.
I signed the papers and everything changed.
Now it will be even harder to get her baby back.
I am 18, mother. Let go and let go of my child.
Is she ready to be a mother again?
She doesn't hold down a job. She goes through jobs constantly.
Teenagers battle their mothers for custody of their kids.
Will she ever be a good enough mom for you?
On the next Montel.
Monday at 11 on KIRO TV 7.